Hey guys, welcome back to the garden. So it is evening time and we are about to harvest all of our garlic. So this is really exciting because while we have had pretty good garlic harvest before, we had one that was pretty good, I want to say 2 years ago. We've never had this much before. And a lot of these, they are small. So some of them, just judging by, the look of them from here, we're not too wowed about, but some of them are really big. And we did pull out a tester one the other day and it was massive. So I'm really excited about this. So we're going to do this really fast, but I thought I'd take you along with us so you can kind of see what our harvest looks like for spring in 2023. So I'm going to put the camera down and we're just going to go at it. So garlic is one of those things where we've attempted to grow it every year that we've had a garden, so the last 3 years, and we've had varying degrees of success. This is definitely the best garlic year that we have had, full stop. So a lot of the ones that we've grown so far are about the size of the one that we just pulled out. But then this year, we got some really big ones, which was really amazing, like this one. This was one of the bigger ones, and we didn't really get these in previous years. We also still got some really, really small ones, which I'm pulling out right now. I'm going to pull it up to the camera, but you can see it's really dinky. And we've gotten a lot of those in the past. So we still use them. They're totally fine. You tend to use the smallest ones first just because it's kind of annoying. But garlic has been one of those things where once you figure it out, it is really easy, but we've made all of the mistakes. Planting it at the wrong time, planting bulbs that are the wrong size, all that stuff. And what we did last year was we actually waited too long to buy our garlic, and so we ended up trying to get some from the farmer's market. There was only one guy that was selling them by the time we were coming along, and they were really expensive, so we only bought a few. They were big and beautiful and absolutely perfect cloves, but they were pretty pricey. So we just got a couple and we decided that would just kind of start us off. Well, we were able to grow those with, again, varying degrees of success. Some of them turned out really big, some of them didn't. We saved the bigger ones for the next year, and then we also bought more bulbs or more cloves so that we could plant out this year. So, like I said, once you figure out garlic, it's really great because it's one of those things is, at least in our zone in California in 9B, we put our garlic in the fall and then we do nothing with it until it's ready to harvest, which is really amazing. We don't have to water it. We don't have to do anything with it, which is great. This year was a little different too because we were working on our beds and we were filling up our beds. And so you can see in our previous videos where we were actually refilling and topping off these beds that had the garlic in it. We were trying to kind of like push the soil around them because this garlic was doing really well and it was almost ready, and we really didn't want to lose this crop because, like I said, it was one of our best ones. And so we were trying to basically fill in the beds around the garlic, which made the project take a little bit longer, but I think was totally worth it because by the time we got here in this time of year, we were able to just pull it out and we got this huge harvest. And this was so much better than if we had, like chopped them all down or what have you. Because like I said, they were almost done. So we were really excited to have them. You can see here some of these I'm pulling out easily, and some of them, they fought us a little bit. They came out of the soil pretty easy on the surface. That's all new soil, but what they were actually rooted into was the old soil that we had that was pretty compacted from the previous year. And so some of them I definitely needed to ask Andrew for his assistance to help me pull them out. And so some of them I just skipped altogether. So yeah, I'm putting my back into that a little bit, but I'm really, really happy with how these turned out. I mean, even the quote unquote smaller ones were really beautiful. So yeah, I think this was the row where some of them were just too big for me to pull out. And so I just skipped a couple and had Andrew come back later and pull them out for me. This one was cool. This is where the clove, I don't know if we planted 3 cloves too close together, but this is actually 3 separate garlic heads, which was pretty awesome. I don't know how this happened because I feel like we were really good about just planting 1 clove, but for some reason those 3 grew together. So when we pulled them out, it was kind of like getting 2 extras for the price of 1, which was great. So a lot of these ones that were really small with with the really skinny stem, we actually ended up breaking off a few of them in the ground and having to go back and dig them out. And then the big ones, like this one, I wouldn't have been able to pull that out. But you can see, like, it's fighting Andrew a little bit, and I wouldn't have been able to get it out. So I just skipped all of those. If you've never planted garlic before, the thing you want to do is, first of all, break apart the head into all individual cloves. Now, you don't want to take all the paper off of them because that's actually a protective coating, and so you leave that on. You wouldn't take all of the paper off as if you were cooking with them. So you leave the paper on, but basically each one of the cloves, once it... Oh, here's one we broke off. So we got to go digging for that. But each one of the cloves will become an entire new head of garlic. And so once it cold stratifies, and so once it gets cold enough, the clove will know that it's time to basically duplicate itself into a whole new head. So that one clove will duplicate over and over and over again until it creates a full head. And so that's one really cool thing about garlic is you can take one head of garlic and turn it into, 5, 6, however many cloves are in it, you can turn it into that many new plants. And so it's a really great way to duplicate your harvest. And what we do, we don't take the smallest ones because we want bigger heads, but we also don't take the biggest ones because they tend to be really wide. And we've noticed that, in the huge heads of garlic, sometimes there's only like 4 cloves in there and they're actually really wide, and we don't actually want that either. So we'll take the medium to kind of like larger size ones, but we're really looking for ones that are part of a really big head of garlic, but also have a lot of different cloves in that head. And those are the ones that we're going to use for our seed garlic. And then from there, what you do is you just plant it with the flat part down because that's where the roots were in the old part of the garlic, and then the pointy part of the clove up. And that is where the green shoots are going to come out of the top. And how you know your garlic is ready is the lower leaves will actually start to dye back in yellow. So you can see on all of this garlic, the last like 2, 3, sometimes 4 leaves at the very bottom are either completely, brown or yellowing. That's when you know it's time to harvest your garlic. That's when you know it's ready. And sometimes when we get to the 4th leaf, or if we've left it too long, which did happen with some of these, the garlic will actually the cloves will start to split on their own. And this happens more with the bigger varieties, or it happens sooner with the bigger varieties. But you'll see sometimes that the cloves will start to split on their own, and that garlic is still good to use and still good to eat and everything like that. But it doesn't store as well, so we tend to use the smallest ones, and those ones that are splitting, we'll use those quicker. And so this is just us laying out all the garlic so that you can really see how many we got. This is a massive haul for us. This was amazing. So we were so excited to get this much. We've never gotten even close to this much before. So we were really happy with it. So all said and done, what we did is we took this into the house and we put it on a wire rack in our garage. We let it cure for, I think it was about 3 or 4 weeks. And once it was done curing, which basically meant the tops had dried out, So once they were completely dry, then I braided them together, cut off all the extra of the tops, and weighed them. And as you can see right here, this is 10 pounds of garlic. So we're really happy with this. Thank you so much for joining me in my garden and joining us for this garlic harvest. I hope your garden is doing well. Have an awesome day. Bye.